Welcome to the Deep Dive. We sift through the sources so you don't have to, giving you instant insight. Today, we're really getting into an American classic, Walt Whitman's Song of the Open Road. We've got some great stuff to work with, bits of the poem itself, obviously, but also some really sharp analysis and prompts. Our goal here, to kind of unpack Whitman's big ideas, freedom, self-reliance, the whole journey of life thing. We want to help you connect with that spirit of adventure, maybe a little introspection too. Expect some surprising facts and fresh takes along the way.
Yeah, it's a fantastic choice. Whitman, well, they call him the father of free verse for a reason. He just gives us this really unique way to think about personal freedom, but also, how we move through the world and connect with others still feels very relevant.
Definitely. So to really get this poem, we should probably talk about Whitman himself first. Who is this guy? Walt Whitman, born 1819, died 1892. American poet, essayist, journalist. I mean, a huge figure in American literature, even though he came from, a pretty tough background economically over in Huntington.
Oh, absolutely huge. And his big work, Leaves of Grass, first published, July 1855? It just changed everything for American poetry. Song of the Open Road is in there, of course. But people might also know him from, say, "Oh, Captain, my Captain," that Lincoln elegy.
Yeah.
Very famous.
Right. So with that context, how does he actually kick things off in Song of the Open Road?
Yeah.
I read that Section 1 is this beautiful mix of self-awareness, free will, but also tenderness. And it introduces that key image, that metaphor, the road.
The road, yeah. And what's so powerful about it in Whitman is how, universal it is. It's something everyone uses, whether rich or poor, right? It kind of forces different people together. So it's way more than just, asphalt. It stands for mobility, but also, crucially, a point to start over towards something new. It's very democratic, really. A starting line for anyone.
So it's not just pavement. It's this symbol that freedom, a fresh start, it's available to anybody. It doesn't matter who you are, which leads to a thought for you listening. What's your go-to way to travel?
Yeah.
Plane, boat, train, car? And what might that choice, say about how you approach journeys? Or maybe even life itself. Speed, connection, independence. He certainly sets that tone right away, doesn't he? Those opening lines just pull you in. "Afoot and lighthearted I take to the open road. Healthy, free, the world before me. The long brown path before me, leading wherever I choose."
It's immediate, that feeling of liberation. Right from the get-go, he's declaring his independence. It's almost like he's anointing himself. He says, "Henceforth I ask not good fortune. I myself am good fortune.
Wow.
Henceforth I whimper no more, postpone no more, need nothing." It's not just walking. It's a whole state of being he's claiming. Self-possession.
Yeah, and it feels like such a clean break from whatever came before. He says he's done with indoor complaints, libraries, querulous criticisms. Querulous meaning complaining, irritated. "Strong and content I travel the open road." He's just shedding all that negativity. No more whining.
Exactly. It points to this really deep self-sufficiency. You see his self-confidence, right? Freedom from complaining, putting things off, needing stuff. He's found what he needs right there in himself and on the road.
And then that line, "the earth, that is sufficient." That one hits hard. It makes me think, gosh, all the noise we surround ourselves with. It's like a call to simplify, isn't it? For you listening, what does that mean? Finding enough in just the basics, the earth. What would you strip away? Okay, but then things get a little complicated. Or maybe more interesting, he writes, "I do not want the constellations any nearer. I know they are very well where they are. I know they suffice for those who belong to them." He's independent, but there's a nuance here.
There really is. Constellations here. It probably means things like, fate, destiny, maybe even powerful groups of people, influencers. So he's basically saying, I'm not looking for external validation or guidance. He's charting his own course, not following someone else's stars.
Right. But then immediately after saying that, he hits us with this apparent contradiction. He says, "Still here I carry my old delicious burdens." Delicious burdens.
Yeah.
"I carry them, men and women. I carry them with me wherever I go. I swear it is impossible for me to get rid of them. I am filled with them, and I will fill them in return."
That's a classic literary paradox right there. Old, delicious burdens. I mean, a burden isn't usually delicious, but what he means, I think, is he carries these sweet memories of people and places, things he wants to hold on to forever.
Okay.
So even while he's seeking freedom from attachments, maybe external pressures, he's still cherishing these internal connections, these memories. It's a beautiful complexity, isn't it? Maybe real freedom isn't about erasing the past, but integrating it somehow.
Yeah. Even Whitman, Mr. Free Spirit, can't quite ditch his emotional baggage, I think we could probably all relate to that a bit.
We definitely can.
So that shows us something else about him, right? This huge capacity to hold on to sweet memories, deep emotional connections, even while he's on this quest for total independence.
Exactly. It's not about being empty. Maybe it's about being full in a different way. And this, I think, ties into his bigger point, that along the journey of life, one will face a test of wisdom which is not tested in any school or university. It suggests this practical, hands-on wisdom, the kind you only get from actually living, from being out there on the road of life, not from books alone.
Okay, let's dig into that road idea more deeply then. When he says, healthy, free, the world before me, what does that spark for you? What kind of possibilities does that open up in your mind?
Well, the central metaphor here is just crucial. It's not subtle. The road in the poem does not mean only the road to travel. The poet wants to suggest the road of life.
The journey.
Yeah. So life is this journey, constant learning, new starts. He's arguing against staying in one place for too long, physically maybe, but also mentally, spiritually. Keep moving, keep evolving.
That's fascinating because that freedom, it's not just in the poem's ideas, it's in how it's written too.
Yeah.
He really practiced what he preached.
Oh, absolutely. Which brings us right to free verse. People call Whitman the father of free verse because, well, he pioneered it in many ways. Basically, it's poetry that does not rhyme or have a regular rhythm. It's free from those traditional constraints, the limitations of regular meter or rhythm.
So it gives the poet more room, more artistic expression, lets them shape the poem how they want, use different poetic tricks. It means more freedom with words, getting the meaning across without sounding, I don't know, artificial like some traditional poetry can feel. Lets it breathe.
Exactly. But it's important to understand it's not just, random prose chopped into lines. Good free verse still has a kind of music, a rhythm. It comes from the use of internal pattern of sounds, the choice of exact words and their chosen places. It's crafted.
Okay.
Which is totally different from, say, blank verse. Blank verse has a meter, usually iambic pentameter. Think Shakespeare, but it doesn't rhyme. That's been around in English poetry for ages, since the 16th century.
I see.
Free verse, though, Whitman's free verse. It feels like a rebellion in itself. Another declaration of independence.
Yeah, that makes sense. So if we look at what the poet does in the poem, he will walk this unknown road, carry these memories, think about himself, but he won't complain, put things off, pray for luck, chase influential people, or aim for conventional success. It's like his personal manifesto.
Perfectly put. And notice how often he uses I. That personal pronoun is everywhere. It just hammers home how individual and self-aware this journey is. Plus, you get repetition like, no more, driving home that break from the past, This is the new way.
So when you boil it all down, Song of the Open Road, it's not just about hitting the highway. It's this incredibly deep statement about owning yourself, about a kind of freedom that actually includes your past, delicious burdens. It's about embracing life's twists and turns, finding what you need in yourself and the world around you, not from, I don't know, society's checklist.
Right. True freedom for Whitman seems to be about integrating everything, the good, the bad, the memories, the present moment, into this self-sufficient path that's totally your own.
Makes you think.
It does. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. If Whitman found this kind of freedom by ditching the indoor complaints and what others expected, what are your delicious burdens? And what roads, real roads, metaphorical roads, are you choosing to take, or maybe choosing not to take, as you chase your own kind of wisdom and freedom?
That is definitely something to chew on. And hey, if this deep dive got you thinking about journeys and choices, you might want to check out other stuff too, like Robert Frost's The Road Not Taken, another classic about paths chosen and not chosen.